Goma, and konnichiwa. Plus, yabaseo. Will here at the POLIT'AI CHI doing the brief intro so you know exactly the video highlights coming up so you know what you're in for. Throwing in my 2 cents as well. Hopefully it's worth a quarter to you. Alright, what in Helsinki are you talking about, lady? Immoral. But she's okay with fencing. So there's snippets of that coming up. Now let's go in back in the Wayback Machine and check out, you know, it's not like, this is a perfect exemplification of how I closed out, I believe, the last episode, closed out the intro. I was talking about the Dems keep switching talking points when it's convenient for them. The GOP has always sort of stuck to it. They're just lousy at sticking with loyalty and message delivery. Hopefully that's changing. You got a bunch of, you know, younger rather, people on point for communication. But remember this bit? Who is that, Reed? You know, former president. I had high hopes for him. Not because he was the first black president. He seemed to be the best man in the running of all the options. I mean, we're all kind of stuck here since GHW. You can trace back the timeline. It's fascinating. You know, how the Clintons, how that ended up. Although Bill did have a real hand, you know, policy-wise. And you had a bunch of centrists in Congress. Most importantly, center-left or center-right types. For my part, used to be center-left. Now I'm center-right. Most of the time centrist. It's hard to be a centrist because it's not a majority party. It's harder and harder these days to find sensible people. And at the time, he was. That's how he got elected, being a junior senator, first termer. You know, because here's the deal. As previously stated, the aforesaid, you know, slightly left of center card-carrying Democrat. She used to be respectable. Forget about how long she's been there and her marriage, you know, bringing her into all that Mulan or fundraising. As an individual, she used to be respectable. First time she was speaker was kind of cool. First time that had ever happened. Well, that lasted all of 2 years because the Dems overdid it then too. What is wrong with these people? And now you have a bunch of Ocasio-does, yeah, I said that, who have come into office. And so I asked myself, and I think it bears asking some of you in the audience, you know, like, I'm not intending this to be, because it comes up a lot, theme-wise, a millennial basher. However, they're the ones, or if you're one, who have enabled Amazon to get to that ridiculous level. Facebook, those two stocks, evil. But I'll try to keep the business separated from politics. Wish they could do that. Right, and you know, all of this insight, you'll never get that from Teflon now. I mean, it's just like enough's enough. I'm just calling it out. They took up a Boyd when yours truly, I think it was like a year. You know, they don't have the political knowledge. They don't have the life experience. They got plenty of sass and frass. And I'm just saying, no matter what political aisle it's coming from, it's just not going to last very long. Thanks for watching those silly DYs while you're out there. Roll it.
Well, just in case you're wondering if the new Democratic Congress will fund a wall along the border, we have an answer. The incoming Speaker of the House has cleared it up. No chance, says Nancy Pelosi. Walls don't work, she explains. And more than that, they're wrong. Morally wrong. Watch.
Most of us, speaking for myself, consider the wall immoral, ineffective. He also promised Mexico would pay for it. So even if they did, it's immoral still.
Now, if you're familiar with how things work in Washington, you may be wondering, when did morality begin to play such a central role in the legislative process? And the answer is the day that Nancy Pelosi got ordained. Pelosi is now an archbishop in the Church of Progressive Sanctimony. Her spiritual gift? Hectoring. Listen to her preach.
What the president did was unconstitutional and indeed, in my view, immoral. It is an immoral issue. This is a moral challenge. Immoral, unconstitutional, incompetent, short-sighted, and immoral. Our moral responsibility. We have a moral responsibility to the next generation. It's just a reflection of the weak moral authority.
Weak moral authority. That is not a problem for St. Nancy. Her moral authority is absolute. She is a good person. You, unfortunately, are not. So pay attention as she explains once again, a border wall is immoral. Well, fine. Far be it for us to question the command of an archbishop. We'll take her at her word. God hates walls. But wait, if walls are immoral, what about fences? Obama seemed to like them.
The bill before us will certainly do some good. It will authorize some badly needed funding for better fences and better security along our borders, and that should help stem some of the tide of illegal immigration in this country.
Better fences, says Obama. That sounds immoral. And what about Israel's security wall? It's big and real and very effective. Pelosi supported it, actually. She voted for a resolution defending that wall from UN condemnation. It's confusing. It must have been before her conversion. But now that walls are definitely immoral, a few obvious theological questions arise. What about doors and locks? How about hedges or security systems or airport checkpoints or anything else that's specifically designed to keep some people out? What about the gate in front of Pelosi's weekend house? Is St. Nancy against all of that? Of course not. Republicans often say the left opposes borders. We've said that many times, but it's not quite true. In their own lives, Democrats are all for exclusivity. They're not in a hurry to resettle refugees on Martha's Vineyard, for example. They just oppose America's borders. America is a sinful nation, they tell us. We can only atone for those sins by giving what we have to the entire world. Democrats lost the House in 2010, and in the short window before the Republicans took back the House, in the lame duck period, Barack Obama got quite a few of his priorities into law. Democrats repealed the military's ban on gay service members, affirmed a nuclear treaty with Russia. They even passed Michelle Obama's school lunch bill. So Republicans could fund a wall before turning back the House. They could have done it at any point in the past 2 years. They just don't really want to. Keep that in mind. Enrique Acevedo is an anchor at Univision. He joins us. Enrique, thanks very much for coming on. Now, you're a journalist. I'm not a theologian either, but Nancy Pelosi has just informed us that a border wall is immoral. Do you think that all walls are immoral, just our border wall? What about the wall in Israel? Is that immoral?
You can cherry pick the word immoral, but she also called it expensive and ineffective, which couldn't be more true.
Cherry picking is within a context of a bunch of words that have multiple meanings.
And the American people that
one word,
border wall is
immoral.
going to
You
solve
can't
our
cherry
immigration
pick one
crisis.
word.
To use the wall as some sort of extortion to pass the DREAM Act and legalize the lives of hundreds of thousands of young kids who are as American as any other. I tell you also what's immoral to use the wall as a way to get elected.
Wait, hold on. Can't we just disagree? Does one of us have to be immoral now? Maybe we just disagree about the wall. Why does one of us have to be a sinner and the other virtuous?
I think being, the immorality of the wall is the signal it sends to a country that has been a partner, an ally, a good neighbor like Mexico. It says we're for division, we're for hate. It says that we don't want others to come to this country while this country was founded by immigrants. So I think that's
never been an ally.
Fundamental principles, foundational principles in this country.
Where's Univision headquarters? Down in Florida or New York? I haven't been.
We're down here in Florida.
Okay, so if I were to go tomorrow, and I got the day off, and I showed up at your building uninvited, would I find a wall or a checkpoint? Would I have to show ID, or could I just go in and use your office and take some of your office supplies?
You would also find a wall around my home, and I'm sure you have one also, Tucker. But those walls are not for your neighbors, your business partners, the person in charge.
You gotta give this guy credit. He tries to keep
pace.
pace. We're talking points.
They're for dangerous criminals and maybe even terrorists.
No, that's not true. Hold on. The wall signifies ownership. So you guys own Univision, you own your home. You get to decide who comes over. If you have a dinner party with your friends, that's great. If 12 strangers come in and eat your food, it's not a dinner party, it's an invasion. So the key factor is your choice. You get to decide who comes into your home because it's your home. Same with your office at Univision. Same with our country, which is America, where I was born. So we don't have a right to say who comes in or out. That's immoral? How?
No, I think the U.S. has every right to secure its borders.